There we go. So now you've got flexibility. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
so
really helpful because literally she's just messaged me. I
uh,
thought, Jesus Christ, apparently something wasn't working, so I will have to hop off in a moment so we can get that sorted. But hello, I'm Sophie, and I'm a mindset money business coach. So money mindset business coach, sorry.
amazing. And what do you offer? Like, what packages do you have? Are they group programs, one to one? Like,
Both. Yeah, so I do like 3 lots of mini minds per year,
mhm,
which are group offers with 10 maximum women in. And then I
mhm,
have one to one. And then I have, well, I did have a membership, but I've scrapped that for now. And I'm rejigging my whole offer suite and revamping it all. So that's where
amazing.
I'm at the moment. And I do retreat days.
Oh, fantastic. Like VIP, like strategy sessions, that kind of thing, like intensives.
I do VIP days and retreats. So that's why I'm hopping on with that lady because we've got our retreat coming up in May. So
Amazing.
day retreat in London. So we do like day, I've not done like a longer term retreat, but I have like done my own one in January. That went really well, sold out. And now I've got a new one coming up in May.
Amazing. So obviously I won't like go into the like ask you private questions,
Yeah.
but do you have monthly recurring revenue in your business? Or is
Yes.
it kind of like little month every mini launches?
It's monthly reoccurring, yeah. And it's something that I've been focusing on this side of the year. So it used to be exactly what you just said, pockets everywhere, like some person will pay in full, then this and that. But that's something I'm really focusing on this year to build
And what's
that
your longest term container?
a year.
Yeah, so you've got clients that work with you for a year, or is that in your mini minds?
I've got clients, one-to-one clients that have worked with me for longer than a year.
Amazing. God, that's really great. That's really, I always think it's about long, like lifetime value of your clients,
Mm,
rather than just like next client, next client. So that's again something that we focus on here is about building up the monthly recurring revenue, getting people to stay with you for longer, and like cross promoting and stacking cash and all the things. So that's great. So you've got people on payment plans that just come in every month. Is that in within any of your group offers?
So I do have all but one person at the moment in my current round are on payment plans
Yeah,
in my elevator group mini mind.
yeah,
So yeah, payment plans coming from here,
from
there, and
them as
everywhere.
well. Amazing. And do you have like one signature offer, like one core offer, or is it a bit kind of tailored and bespoke?
I would say that my 3 month one-to-one offer is a signature, and then also my elevator mini mind that I'm running now is like a revamped version, and I will be doing it multiple times.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. So maybe that might be something that you just want to do evergreen at some point, because I always like to encourage the women where possible to have something that is truly scalable,
Mm.
so that you've always got like your bread and butter kind of taken care of. You've got one point of focus in terms of promotions. And then from there, you can have like your upsells for the one-to-ones, VIP days, and the more kind of, immersive experiences. And then you've got your low ticket down sales for the people that aren't quite ready or don't necessarily want that longer term mentorship, just because obviously then it helps with your monthly recurring revenue and gives you a nice stable base that means that you can regulate your nervous system around money.
Yeah.
So amazing. Okay, so you've got that in place, which is great. So obviously, again, if you have to hop off, it's absolutely fine. I'll just go through the prompts.
Thank you.
Kath, your kind of services are one to one, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I don't have any reoccurring clients. It is bit of copy here, bit of copy there.
Yeah, so that is definitely something that I would want to resolve in your business.
Yes,
So,
please.
well, yes, please. Because, and this is kind of my jam. So, as well as working within my business, I'm a consultant for other 6, 7, and 8 figure coaches, and even like beyond that, other industries and stuff that I support with. Because I always say I'm an entrepreneur first and a business mentor second, and obviously underlying all of that is money mindset. Because for me, it's about having a woman that lives on her own terms. Essentially, you can only do that when you're financially empowered, and the first thing you need to do is build up your monthly recurring revenue. So what I've seen has worked really well for other copywriters is monthly retainers for your clients.
Yeah.
So, and it might be a quick win invitation that you can make to all of your previous clients, because any established business owner or coach, like, we've always got something going on. we've always got new offers, events coming up, or even just optimizing the funnels and the things that we've currently got. So I would definitely say, oh, thank you so much. And I'll send you the recording later out on the mailing list. So thank you for joining us. So yeah, so if you have got previous clients that you've worked with, what's worked really well with copywriters is that they have a monthly retainer essentially, and it's like, you know, maybe the price point is more accessible, which is good, because sometimes when people want to work with a copywriter, it's a big upfront cost, right? But if you've got you know, you have to prioritize, and then they'll only do like maybe 1 or 2 landing pages or a couple of little projects over here. I know you work with people that write blogs, but if you were able to offer a more comprehensive package where it's like, I'll do all of your website copy, your funnels, your sales pages, your emails, and you could break this down into monthly costs where it's like, you know, every month you get a sales page or a funnel or a landing page, so many emails, maybe some social media copy, because I know you can outsource that, can't you? And it will be this fixed cost. I don't know any coach that would not bite your hands off at that offer, because
I have put packages together, like 3 packages, and try to put the middle ones like the best value, kind of best option for them. But at the minute, the ones I do have are, oh, I can't afford that right now, let's just do a blog. And I know a blog a month isn't doing anything for their business, because it's just sitting there, it's parked on the website, and that's it. You know, they need to be using it into I don't know,
part of their bigger strategy.
You know, putting it in emails for the subscribers, or using it for social media content and things. There's so much more they could do with that one blog. But I think that's going to be my next steps, is to nurture them a bit and show them the benefit of what they could do with this blog, and try and upsell them then to the package.
Yeah, because I've done these kind of arrangements, even with like branding experts, where it's like, I don't even know what I'm going to need, but if I know that I can come to you so many times a month and you'll create these assets for me, then it helps me to get into better habits, because it's like, then I've got to get more into the planning. I'm accountable because I'm paying for this on a retainer. So it prompts me to then think big picture and action. But also for that person, they're getting a commitment that, you know, they've got this monthly recurring revenue coming in. So I would definitely think about, rather than selling, I mean, you could still have those packages for people that just want the one-off things, that are like, no, I just want a one and done. But typically, like you say, it's a lot of work to get that up, like for them to get into the mindset of like, what do I even need? Now we've got to go backwards and forwards. And equally for you to try and get into their mindset, understand their language, all of that sort of thing. So it's like, for me, I'm a firm believer it's about lifetime value and getting the most bang for your buck from the clients that you have got. And that comes from giving them a continuation offer like this, where it's like, okay, so now I've done this blog and I've got a sense of your business, and I've seen the potential of what you've created and where you could be like really leveraging this in other areas. I'd love to invite you to work with me on a monthly retainer basis, where I can support you with XYZ that will give you this, and this. And it just means that we can carry on with this great work we've already done, and leverage that even further. And I've got clients that are still with me like 4 or 5 years later, because there's always something else. There's always another room for growth. There's always a next level. There's always another goal. There's always something else that they want to be working on. So you've always got to think about that, like for your clients, essentially, what's next? If I could have them for like 12 months, what would that look like? You could pretty much overhaul every element of their business. You could, you know, help them to be thinking more strategically, and more forward planning. You could obviously, you know, it will just get better and better and better the longer that they're in your world, isn't it? So I would definitely think as a quick win, and obviously for anybody that's watching back on the replay, have you got anything in your offer suite right now that is encouraging that longer term commitment from your clients? So for me, when I was a business owner, well, I still am a business owner, obviously, but my first business was a barbershop, and I was right in the middle of the high street, which was incredible. Like Kingston upon Thames, it's like a royal borough, you get a really great footfall. But what I was noticing was that people were kind of like coming and going, so you wouldn't necessarily see the same person again. And it just occurred to me very quickly that it's not about how many people we can get through the door, it's about what we can do with them, lifetime value when they're in the door. So obviously upsells, adding bits on products, and those sorts of things, but how do we get them coming back? So then I looked at like contracts and vouchers and all these sorts of incentives, being on my mailing list, getting first access to like deals, discounts, appointments at busy times, like all of these things, so that I could promote loyalty essentially. And it's exactly the same in a service-based business online. It's like, okay, you've done all the hard work in acquiring that lead. How do we now make it work for you for longer? So I would definitely say, without a doubt, get that on your offer suite, and don't allow it to become a big thing. You know, just literally voice note all of the people that have worked with you previously and say, hey, I know we did some really incredible work previously. I'm just about to launch this offer. Does that sound like something you might be interested in? And you could obviously paint the picture as to how you see that working for them, i.e., I did this one thing. What I would love to do is, you know, be able to be in your business every month, providing this kind of support that will get you these kind of returns, and like my minimum term is 3 months, but I would love to work with you for 12, you know. So that will work if you're a social media manager, if you're a branding expert, anything really, video editing, PTs, like anything where you're currently offering one-to-one, get people to buy into the longer term transformation and stay with you. So with that being said, like I just wanted to plant that seed and make sure that everybody has got something in their product suite that is long term. Again, this is something that I really promote within the academy, is just having an offer suite that really serves you, not the other way around, where you're constantly looking for the next client. And then looking back at the last 3 months, and this is what we kind of do on these money days, it's always about refining, bringing back into alignment, reevaluating like what is working for you right now. So looking back over the last 3 months, or even just the last month, what has sold and what hasn't? Like, what is your most popular offer at the moment? And it can be, so obviously I'll let you reflect on that, Kath, and then I'll just kind of riff a little bit on it. But what I found with clients, and I literally just got off the academy call this morning, was that some of the women are kind of like, they're doing really well in their business, but the offers that are selling are the ones that are very labor intensive, i.e. one-to-one, and, you know, lots of support, lots of bells and whistles. And when I actually kind of like just challenge them a little bit on that, it's like, is that because that's what your clients want and need, and that's what, you know, the feedback is telling you? Or is that because there is a belief underneath that for yourself that people are only going to pay high ticket if they're literally getting my heart, blood, soul, and all the things? And 9 times out of 10, the women that I spoke to, it was they had a belief that, but if I either withdrew this offer or eliminated some of the access, then I'm not going to sell it as well. And it's like, that's an internal belief that needs to have a shift or a reframe, because I'm doing the call schedules at the moment. And what's really interesting, so I'm doing the call schedules at the moment for my 3 programs. So I've got the academy, the masterminds, and I've also got Manifest Your Bestseller, which is essentially a self-publishing program. And the proximity and the amount of calls for each program is very different. And it was kind of interesting because I knew I was going to come on this call, and I'd had that conversation this morning, because typically my mastermind clients need less hand-holding. So they have less calls because actually they're busy. Like, they're busy women that are already making good money. If I was trying to keep them accountable to a weekly call and, you know, being with me, not only does that create a certain element of codependency that they don't need, because when I did run my first mastermind, it was very much like, oh, I'm there every week. Like, if you're accountable to your goals, like, you'll show up, And I thought, actually, what I was finding on those calls is that the clients were almost like afraid to move until they had my say-so. They were like, I want to bring this to the table. This is what I'm thinking, but I'll let you kind of decide. And it was like, oh, okay, I'm not helping them in this situation, actually, because I need to empower them that they don't need to be in my pocket and I don't need to be in theirs in order for them to get results. So this round of the mastermind, they actually get less calls, and I would say more access real time. So I use Voxer a lot, might be something that you want to consider. So I use Voxer because these women, again, don't want to wait. If they've got a question, they want an answer, and then they will take that, run with it, and do what they need to do. They don't want to wait until a week Monday either. So it's about understanding, what does my client actually need? What's going to get them results? And am I thinking that they need hour-long Zoom calls and all of the things when actually they don't? And again, I found that with my one-to-one clients who are paying me my premium prices, they don't necessarily need a call every week. And we purposely don't have them every week because it's almost like busy work. They just want me at the end of a Voxer. So that was quite interesting to me. Obviously, the Academy, again, that's at that price point in order to keep it accessible. It's not every week. We don't need to do deep dives into your money every single week. You know, again, that would be creating codependency. That would be disempowering you in a sense, like I can't move until Rebecca said so. But yeah, so consider that, like the proximity, the amount of calls. Maybe there's a Zoom that could be, instead of a Zoom call, maybe you could create some community around and do the one-to-many model with some of your things as well. So what has sold really well? And obviously, Cass, because you're here, and if you want to share that, let me know. But I just wanted to kind of pose that little question as devil's advocate.
So I've had a mixture of loads of things lately over the past month, from editing and proofreading, creating landing pages, website copy, Facebook ads, and blogs.
And what about and do you enjoy delivering all of that? Or is it, are you just going with where the money is? Or is it like, no, actually, I really enjoy all of these bits. If I could have more of this would be amazing.
Yeah, I do enjoy all of them, but I would love to deep dive more into a business, you know, rather than just doing one-off thing, that I can do a bit of a cross for them. It could be using the same kind of copy, but you know, directing it into different avenues and tweaking it a little bit to suit different audiences, different networks, and so on.
Yeah, I think the thing is, energy flows where focus goes. So when you're thinking about your promotions and what you're marketing, you need to have that real intention, like, this is what I want to sell this month. And we go into a little bit of that with the goal setting. So ideally, if you were in the Academy, you would come to these calls with the data, like there's spreadsheets, templates, all the things in there, and you would have like real-time feedback. Right, this is what I've sold, this is where my leads are coming from. So that's the other thing as well. We don't want to ever be at the mercy of, like, I don't know, I got clients this week, don't know what happened the week before, don't know. We need to like balance out the masculine and feminine in business. So it's all about getting like the devil's in the detail and getting really intimate with those statistics. So all of your clients previously, do you know where they've come from? I.e., were they a referral? Did they find you on your Instagram? Did they come from LinkedIn? Like, where have they come from?
Majority have been referrals, others have been due to networking.
Okay.
In events.
Perfect. So then when you're thinking about your sales and marketing strategy, because what we want to do essentially is like really check in with what you're selling, make sure that is really in alignment. That's easy for you to fulfill. So you're not like giving your blood, sweat, and tears. Identify those opportunities where perhaps some of your offers are labor intensive. So we like to look for like smart ways to deliver. But then equally, when you're then setting your goals for the month ahead, it's looking at the offers that make the most sense. So how can I make the most money in the easiest, most aligned way possible? And then how am I going to sell it? So you always want to have that sense of what is working for me right now. So if it is referrals and networking, then obviously do more of that. Absolutely. Because it means that, first of all, you're delivering results. So this is the thing as well. We also want to get the most bang for our buck for the things that are working for us. So if so networking events, amazing. Obviously, you are very good at articulating your offers. You must be selling with conviction in order to have a networking conversation and then somebody say, yes, please. So that is kind of like your superpower, I would say. So when you're creating content, I would do more of that and play to your natural strengths. So maybe more videos, that sort of content. Obviously, I work with human design as well, but it's a bit in depth to go into on this call. But I would definitely say, like, get a reading, know what your energy type and how it's meant to be used. But referrals, if that is really working for you right now, then what I would say is get an affiliate scheme together, like make it official and really incentivize people to go out of their way to recommend your services. But also, so it could be like very simple. It could be like you get 10% or something, but let people know it's there and available. Think about anybody that you could collaborate with or share that opportunity with, like people within your network, similar businesses but not the same. And that could become an even more, you know, streamlined source of traffic for you. But also, I was going to say, with that, obviously then past clients, let them know if you're referring your clients. Also, there's a way to kind of stay in my world and earn money. With that, what else was I thinking with referrals? So you're obviously getting results. That's the thing. Sorry, that's what I was going to say. You're obviously getting results in order for people to feel confident in referring you. So do you have a lot of reviews off the back of that?
No, I have been collecting reviews, but I don't have many.
Okay, so I would, again, like be really intentional about that customer journey. As soon as you offboard somebody, or even whilst you're in the middle of the project and they're already like super happy with what you've delivered, then ask them for a testimonial, because the revenue is in the reviews. Like, I fully believe that. I've invested in mentors that I don't fully align with, if I'm honest. Like, I don't like their style and their energy, but because they have such incredible testimonials, I'm like, I need to know what is going on, because maybe they're triggering me because there's something underlying there. So just because I don't necessarily vibe with them, they're still getting results and I want to know how. So I've invested like literally high ticket with mentors for that reason, because I'm curious. So the revenue's in the reviews. This is how you sell without selling. And if you're already getting incredible results, that's an indication of that. Then think about all of the testimonials that you've got. How do you repurpose them when you don't have many? So this could be through like reels, case study breakdowns of your client's success. So this is what I did. This was the thought process behind it. These were the results. As well as like the graphics where it's like, yay, thank you. And I always say like jab, jab, hook. So always, before you ask, before you promote your offers, leverage those testimonials first. So people are already like, oh, okay, curious. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's getting great results. She's getting incredible feedback. And then it's like, and if you would like the same results, then this is how you can work with me right now. It feels very like you're giving before you ask type thing. And I believe in that, in karma and energy and all the things. So those would be two things when you think about your income goals for the month ahead that you absolutely need to double down on, because they're already working for you. And I'm not about, my approach is, oh, there's a book and I can't think what it is, but even with my kids, right, I homeschool one of my children, the others aren't, but I always get them to play to their strengths, because that's how it feels easy, that's how it feels sustainable, and I'm all about the longevity in business. So like I say, if those things are just natural things that seem to work and convert for you, then do more of that. So and equally, you need to have that plan for your goals, because a goal without a plan is just like, yeah, I'd love to make 10k a month, why not? Amazing. So by now you should have an idea of like, what was your income for the last month or 3 months, depending on how far you want to go back. What have you sold? And doing a bit of reflection work around, even though I've sold that, even though I've made money, does that actually feel really enjoyable and aligned to continue promoting that into the next month? Does that still feel really exciting to deliver, to talk about, to share like the opportunity with your audience? If it doesn't, then there's an opportunity to tweak that. Typically, I find that it's just the delivery and starting to tap into and think creatively as to how you can deliver your services with less of your soul and your energy. So I know, Kath, you've already got your agency model, which is incredible, because then you can outsource and there's no resistance. So here's the thing, like when it comes to money in your business, you might say that you want more clients, but if you don't have capacity in your diary, that's okay. If you don't have capacity in your diary to deliver that service, then you are going to have one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. And that is just psychology, because ultimately you don't really want it. So if you're looking back over the previous month's income goals and maybe you haven't hit them, always ask yourself the question, what parts of me did not want to hit that goal? And typically it will be the part of you that really didn't want to deliver the offer, or wasn't set up to be able to deliver it in the best way. So it might be that this is an indication to you that in order to have more clients, you're going to need some support in your business. So I'm working with one of the women in my mastermind right now, she's absolutely incredible at what she does, but almost too much. Like, she's too good. So she has like literally maxed out her capacity of one-to-one, which is amazing, but her next level offers weren't really providing any meaningful income. So then we had to revisit that. We had to refine that. If we want to increase the price, how do we make it still in integrity and incredible experience? So that looked like adding in some resources, some check-in points, a community element, so that she could, in good faith, pull back from some of our one-to-one clients and then pour into this signature one-to-one offer, which is essentially a self-study, but it could have been an academy, it could have been a mastermind, it could have been any sort of community space. I've also got clients that work in the property industry. Now, that is an industry that is very much like go, go, go. When things are going on, it is all consuming, like time, energy, your soul is going into that project, because the cost of making mistakes or not, dropping the ball, not having your eye on it, is really costly. So obviously for her to have a coaching business alongside that then means that she needs to be chained to a desk every week, really didn't work for her, essentially. So we created boxer groups that meant that she could literally just go sit in her car if she needed to be on site, if she was traveling for work, she's still delivering value. The people in there are still getting like incredible real-time feedback, but it is working with her real life, essentially. Like, that was, as much as that was really successful, it's essentially one element of what she does. As women, we do typically tend to be multi-passionate, and you got to be honest with setting yourself up for success. For me, as a mum with 5 kids, like, I can't do all the things. And even if I wanted to, well, I don't want to be honest. Like, I'm at that age where I'm like, I don't want to do all the things anymore. But equally, I don't want to reduce my impact, because this is a soul mission for me, So it's like, okay, if I can't do all the things, but I still want the same outcome, what needs to give, what needs to change? That could be marketing message in terms of speaking to a more discerning client who is a little bit more self-led and motivated, or it could be like investing in software, investing in a team that can actually support me with some of the admin bits that I got no business doing. Like, it doesn't make sense for my time and my energy to be doing that. And also having like these core offers, like having my offer suite locked in, where it's like, it's a this, or it's this. There is no like, oh, I'll do this over here and I'll do this over here and I can tailor this for you. That doesn't make sense for me. I've literally got 2 days a week childcare, and I am, and I've got things to do. Like, I'm writing books, I'm doing press articles, like events. I need to just have my core thing, let that be my core thing, and be supported so that I can deliver that. So what is that for you? What is that for you? So once you've obviously got that sense of like, right, no, this is my offer, sweet, this is what I'm focusing on for this month ahead. What is the number? Like, let's get really specific. What is the goal that you want to call in for the month ahead? Because obviously, not only does the universe love specificity, but also your brain. So part of my background, for anybody that isn't familiar with me, I have a psychology background, I'm a hypnotherapist, I'm an NLP practitioner, I'm an EFT practitioner, I use breathwork with my clients, I use human design. Like, I have all of these different modalities, so to make sure that I'm helping at every level of consciousness and also mindset. So when it comes to your mindset, your brain loves that specificity. Like, you need that number to have a target. Otherwise, how do you know when you get there? And your reticular activating system, it's called, will help you to achieve that sooner. So, and if you're happy to share, Catherine, like, let me know what is your money goal for April?
For April, I know in order for me to get bills paid, I need to bring in 1,100. And then I want to earn another £600-700 on top to live comfortably.
Okay. So what I would say as well is review that goal, because equally I believe in a profit first approach, where it's like, you have so I used to do this previously in my business, where I would have the income that comes in, I would take out all my expenses, and then whatever was left was like the profit, and that's what I could then take. there's a great book, Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. Essentially what that does is, because you're not even getting 50% there for yourself, like that doesn't feel like a lot. And again, yes, your money goals need to be relative to you. There's no point like saying, oh, I want 10K months if that doesn't mean anything to you. If it's so far beyond where you currently are that you can't get behind that number, don't worry about it. Like literally stick with something that feels like a stretch goal, but that you can still get behind and see that it's believable to achieve that. But prioritize your profit first. So you essentially have your income minus what you want for your profit, and then whatever is left over is for your expenses and your operating costs. So that's how, because sometimes people are a little bit unrealistic. Like they're like, yeah, I want a 10K month, or I only want like a couple of grand, but actually they need more. They need more in order to be able to grow their business, in order to be supported by a team, in order to have some overflow in their personal life, in order to start extracting some of the money from their business to put towards like wealth building strategies. Like we want to move beyond the survival mindset. And this is why literally only 12% of female business owners will ever get to six figures. And it's because we're not necessarily out here wanting to make millions. We just want flexibility to be with our kids. And that's the reality. But equally, if we could start to reconcile it for ourselves where we get to have both, then we could add billions to the UK economy. Like we are massively like scratching the surface of what we're capable of. So, and it could be that it's only like one more client for you or a couple of extra clients on top. So start to, think about that, but equally be mindful of the fact that it's half term, it's Easter holidays, you're not going to be able to be as present as you would be normally. And I don't believe that, I think business needs to have ebbs and flows like we do as women, with our cycles, with things that are going on. Like for me this week, I'm barely showing up at all. I'm if anything, I'm doing more like reflection work, relaunching, refining, because there's no point me trying to be camera facing when I've got 5 kids at home, and equally I want to be present with them and enjoy the time freedom. So I've really pulled back this month. Now, doesn't necessarily mean that my income has pulled back, actually, interestingly enough, because I'm launching my higher ticket offers. I've made just as much money, if not more. So you've also got to kind of reconcile that with yourself as well. But what I would say is when you think of your goal for next month, make it exciting. Make it, because here's the thing, earning money just to survive is really not enough to get you out of bed, is really not enough to get you focused when your energy dips or when something comes up with the kids. It's easy to get off track when this money is not really like changing your life or doing much with it, if it was the case of like, get 2 extra clients this month and you can take your kids on holiday, make it exciting, make it compelling, so that you can really get behind it. Because then when you can do the math for yourself and see that actually that is only, like I say, launching this monthly retainer offer. If you went back to however many clients that you've worked with, say you've worked with 10 clients before and only 2 or 3 converted, which is typical, like 20 to 30%, what does that mean for your monthly recurring revenue, not only this month, but also going forwards? Like, it's worth getting out your way and clearing some space to have those conversations when you've got something really exciting on the other side of it. Equally, to keep you on track when things don't work out, to keep you coming back to like constant creation. So as women, we have feminine energy. We don't have to look outside of ourselves and do business like everybody else. That's like the common misconception in the online space, is that in order to be successful, you need to offer this, this, and this, deliver it in this and this way, charge these prices, and we're continually looking at what other people are doing. Actually, you get to be really innovative and creative and consider all of these moving parts in your life, i.e. your zone of genius, your values, your time, your capacity, what you actually enjoy doing. You get to consider all of that and then make sure that your offers are in alignment with that. And you could charge £1 million for that, because there'll be people that do. I've worked with mentors throughout my career that have charged me like 5,000, 3 months together, and then I've worked with mentors that have charged me like 50,000 for 6 months together. And there will be a person for you at every price point. It's all about marketing and about speaking to that person directly. So don't be afraid to, like I say, innovate, create, and equally when things aren't selling, just go to your journal. That's what I do whenever I'm launching something and I'm like, okay, what can I do to sell this right now? As much as I don't believe in push energy, I also believe in like inspired downloads. I will challenged myself to write down 25 ways that I can sell that program or that offer or that thing, because it activates the left brain, right brain creativity that you already have, and your own internal guidance as a woman. Like, we've got that as our superpower. So if there's any element of doubt around how can you achieve these money goals this month, once you've made them exciting enough to really want to get behind, but equally, you know, close enough that you can fully get on board with that it's possible, then how are we going to sell it? First thing you do is look at all the things that are working for you currently and double down on those, but also start to think creatively and outside of the box and tap into that. And then once you have your list, like, I always think of sales and marketing as like an onion. So you start with the most obvious ones first, like the inner circle. So these are like your low hanging fruit. Those are people that are going to be people that have already worked with you previously, and the people that are kind of most active on your socials or that have inquired to work with you previously. Those are your no-brainer. I do my 10-day to 10K challenge on this basis, that we always go for the low-hanging fruit and the previous leads first, and then we work our way out until we get to a point of, I have exhausted every person in my network, but you never get to that point. That's the thing. You'll never get to that point, because there will always be more that is in your energy, in your aura, on your peripheral before you even get to that point anyway. So don't worry. But essentially go to those people first, because that's the best use of your energy. You're most likely to get your conversions from them. Once somebody's bought from you once, they're 80% more likely to buy from you again. Then it's moving outwards to the next layer. Once you've exhausted that would then be on your socials, to your email list, to anybody that is particularly like active on your socials. Like, go back to those people first, and then it's beyond that. Okay, that maybe you've got like enough sales from that. What do I now need to do next? And that again is like a great opportunity to go to your journal or tap into a community like this one, where we can essentially problem solve and brainstorm. But you've probably already got like your next 10 clients in your current audience anyway. That's a reality. People following your page and they are liking your posts, they are somewhat curious, unless they are like the most polite person in the world. But typically people don't work with you because they either don't feel like they're good enough, they're ready enough, they've like, you know, or they assume that it's wildly expensive and they don't want to embarrass themselves by asking the question. So you need to make it a safe space for people to lean in and ask that. And there's so many more moving parts around like your customer journey and all of those things. But I think for now, for today's money day, it's about, like I say, looking at your income, also looking at your expenses. So I like to think of these as like money leaks. So expenses in your business can either fuel its growth and free up your time and energy so that you can then you know, make more money, be more customer facing, do the things that you do well, or it can be an energy drain. So I would look at your expenses. Do they all make sense? If you don't have any expenses, that doesn't make sense, because equally your business is like a living being entity. You have to feed it. You have to be willing to invest in your business in order to allow it to thrive and grow, whether that be a mentor, a program, a software, team members, anything that can help to like fuel its growth. You need to have something in there, whatever that looks like for whatever stage you're at. So look at your income, your expenses, your offers. Do they still feel aligned? Do they still feel good to deliver? Are there some things that need to happen in order to give you more capacity as you go into the month ahead? Then looking at your monthly goal, and ensuring that you are making it compelling enough to give you an element of profit. And I always say you need to have enough in there to invest, spend, and save. So you need to have enough to kind of like spend on your expenses and equally give you a wage, but you also need to have some that goes away for taxes and future payments. So for me, I have a marketing budget. I've just had the most insane opportunity that has come up to literally be flown to America for like a speaking thing. I've already got a budget available for that. Now, your budget might be different to mine, but for me, that's my next level of growth, like speaking on stages. So I have to treat that like a marketing budget, because I'm my personal brand, you know. So pay your future self, put some money in savings, whether that's for Facebook ads, for a mentor, for your next level system or software, or a monthly budget for marketing and promotions. Save some of that money and then have a small percentage that is for investments. So again, this could be the investment opportunity is different for each of us depending on our level of risk and all the things. But even if you just have an online stocks and savings account, so things like Moneybox I use, Plum I use, and I've worked with coaches that have supported me in building up my own investment and stock portfolio, and they recommend both of those apps. Even if it's £5 a week, it's going to give you more returns on your money than just putting it somewhere or having it in your view so that you end up spending it. Like, this is where it's good to have different pots in your business. But again, that's like a deeper conversation. So if you want to dive deeper into that, come join me in the academy and we set all of that up from the get-go. But essentially, once you've got your goals and you're looking at the month ahead, what are you going to sell? How are you going to sell it? And like I say, for you, Kath, it could just be like 2 extra clients, and actually that's going to make a real difference. Where are those 2 clients coming from? Well, I'd go to the things that are currently working well, which is referrals and networking events. So mapping out your diary for April and thinking, right, if I want to bring in these 2 extra clients and I want to hit this income goal and I'm happy with everything that I'm delivering, I just need to get more people to see it, then strategically map in those networking events. Have at least 1 a week so that you're giving yourself the best possible chance. Look at Facebook groups so that it's not always like Zoom to camera having to block out sessions. Like, those are great ways to get your offers, your lead magnets, start the conversation, build connections, and it's free. Like, it blows my mind. Literally, my first business, I had to sell my house to buy. We have so many opportunities now to make money from literally nothing, from our time and our energy and our thoughts. So we really need to make sure that we are being honest with ourselves, where we are the ones that kind of not necessarily, you know, doing the things that we know to do, because you deserve to have that success. You deserve to blow your minds. I work with a lot of like healers, spiritual women that are like just focused on what they need rather than what they want. So definitely like review that goal and all the things. So then what do you need to sell, and where are you going to get those leads from? And like I say, consider it like the onion. So block out some time to go back to all of your previous clients, make a continuation offer to work with you. If you've got an email list, you can do things like flash sales. But I never discount your services, by the way. Never do that. Flash sales are more like just for little fun cash injections around like topical times, like birthdays, anniversaries, International Women's Day. Don't rely on them to meet your monthly goals. They need to be a bonus. But equally, there's an opportunity there to sell. What can you repurpose? Start thinking about building in passive income in your business. But again, that's probably a bigger conversation. But yeah, so that's your journey for this month. Obviously, what we would then do now is do like a bit of a Q&A session. So the journey is reviewing your income and your expenses for the last month, getting really intimate with that, no more avoiding, looking at your income goals for the month ahead and ensuring that you've got enough money and profit in there to spend some, save some, and invest some, and plus meet all of your commitments, ensuring that you're paying your future self and really fueling the growth of your business. Then looking at your offer suite. What do you want to sell? Does this still feel really aligned? Doing that check-in work and self-leadership, then ensuring that you have a plan as to how you're going to sell it. So that it's not just a pipe dream where it's like, yeah, 10K months, I'm just going to sit here and think good vibes. Girl, we need the masculine and the feminine in that. And if you're not sure, this is where like the coaching sessions come in, where we can kind of brainstorm, and ensuring also that you're increasing your lifetime value and having that reoccurring revenue in your business. So what I'm going to do is stop recording now, and then Kath, if you want to stay on, this is where we do like the money mindset work. This is where we'll do like the strategy work, and really dive into all things money, so that you feel really confident going forwards that April is your month. It's happening. Your success is inevitable. Whatever you have put on your paper for your goals, like there is no way that you can't not make that money. And that's what we want to get to, a point where your success feels inevitable. And it's like, of course, you know. So I'm going to stop the recording there. And then obviously, just because I'll put this out for anybody that didn't get to join me live, and I want to like keep your privacy